Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here still reviewing Batman films, and this time I'm here to talk about Batman Forever. Yes, this movie came out in 1995. It this time is directed by Joel Schumacher, and the plot is at the very beginning we see Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones this time, and he is committing all of these crimes in Gotham. He's wreaking havoc, so Batman is trying to stop him, but Two-Face now is teaming with a brand new villain in Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler. So this is too much for one man, right? Too much for Batman, so he gets the help of a brand new sidekick, Robin. Now, what I think of Batman Forever is, I know, there are plenty of people who hate this movie, who dislike this movie, who look at this as the beginning of the end, the downfall of the Batman franchise, and I get it, I understand, I do. This movie is not perfect, it sure is far from perfect. There are a lot of weird stuff in this movie, like rewatching it, yeah, they're there. But I still love this movie. I do, and I'm not ashamed to say it. You could say it's a guilty pleasure, but I'm not guilty at all. I love this movie because I talked about how I would watch Batman Returns over and over again as a kid. And that's true, but I also watched Batman Forever over and over as a kid. I mean, yeah, I saw it in theaters, but when I owned it on VHS, I just watched it so many times. I probably wore out the VHS. I would stay up all night and just constantly rewind and watch the movie so many times. It was a little obsessive, probably not healthy, but yes, I know this movie front and back. I'm sitting here now rewatching it, quoting every line before they're saying it. It's bad, but I can't help it. It brings me back to my childhood. It's totally nostalgic. Let's talk about our brand new Batman. He is played by Val Kilmer. And when you talk about your favorite Batman, when people talk about their favorite Batman, they never talk about Val Kilmer. And I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying that he's my favorite Batman, but I do think he's a slightly underrated Batman. I think that just in the costume, he looks great. Even as Bruce Wayne, I think he has that the good-looking features, the playboy billionaire, just he fits that profile perfectly. The new theme of this movie, I need to address it, because the first two movies you had Danny Elfman, which was perfect. I talked about how much I love that theme. This time the theme is by Elliot Goldenthal, and I don't hate this theme. I don't. In fact, I kind of like it. It's catchy. It fits this lighter, more colorful tone. Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent, Two-Face. Tommy Lee Jones. There's a part of me that's upset that it wasn't Billy D. Williams, right? That they didn't keep him, that they recasted, but it makes sense because they have a new regime. They're going in a different direction. Virtually everybody is recast, mostly. So it makes sense. And Tommy Lee Jones, in theory, is perfect casting. In theory, it would make sense. He's a great actor. He's a serious actor. You really would love to see what he would bring to this type of a character, the duality of the character. But at the very beginning of the movie, you see that he's not going for any serious performance. He's not taking this serious or playing it straight. No, he's being over the top. He's going just on the moon with his performance, and apparently Tommy Lee Jones didn't get it. He didn't get the memo. He thought that because it's a comic book movie, because it's a superhero movie, you're supposed to be over the top. You're supposed to be overly dramatic. You're supposed to, I guess, act like Jack Nicholson. But that was the Joker. It made sense for him to act like the Joker. Not every comic book villain acts like this. But apparently he didn't know that. And it's just weird. It's weird and it's awkward and it's cringeworthy sometimes to see Tommy Lee Jones jumping around and just it's too much. It's way too much. At the beginning, when Batman's going after Harvey Dent and he saves the cop in the vault. Oh no, it's boiling acid! Man, oh man, do I want to just I would not blame Batman if he just said, oops, and let the cop drown in the acid. That sounds harsh, but it's true. The scene where Harvey Dent is flipping his coin over and over again so that it lands on the side that he wants so that he can kill somebody. What the fuck? Talk about not understanding or getting the character. For some reason that pisses me off so much, but let's talk about the actual real villain of the movie, Jim Carrey as Edward Nygma. I love Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Now I know everything that I said about Tommy Lee Jones being too over the top and too goofy. It's true. It's true. And for Jim Carrey, it's even more true. He's even more over the top. He's even more goofy. Sure, but the Riddler, you can almost get away with being silly with the Riddler. It works. But it's Jim Carrey. It's Jim Carrey circa 1995. What else did you expect from the guy? What else did you really want from Jim Carrey, especially in his prime, at the height of his powers? That's what you want to see from him. What makes it not work for Tommy Lee Jones is that he can't pull off this level of comedy that Jim Carrey can. Jim Carrey, I'm rewatching this now and I'm still laughing at all of his delivery, the lines that he's spewing, and his obsession over Bruce Wayne. I find all of it hilarious when he tries to dress like him and he's copying his move. His villain plot though, his plan is he has this brain drain device where he wants to put these devices on every TV in the homes of Gotham. And I was confused on, like, is he draining people's brains and becoming smarter himself? Or like what? Like when he has that home base with the green thing and he's sitting there on his throne and the green stuff's going in his head. Like, what is going on?
Let me demonstrate.
Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian. Nicole Kidman, this was her at her hottest. I think there was no one hotter at this moment than Nicole Kidman. Sure, she's hot to look at, but her character is so poorly written. She's this psychologist who comes to Gotham. She wants to study Batman, research Batman, but as soon as she meets him, she wants to sleep with him. Like, the next night, she puts the bat signal out. She's dressed in a nightgown, really like ready to throw herself at Batman. It makes her look pathetic. It makes her look like, come on, are you professional or not? And then you have her like a typical woman, no offense, but she wants to sleep with Batman. No, she's also dating Bruce Wayne. She tells Bruce Wayne, oh no, I'm sorry, I've met somebody. No, you haven't. You're just trying to sleep with Batman. But when Batman finally does come along and he's about to like sleep with her in his bat costume, which is kind of, I would watch that movie. She stops and says, oh no, I'm with Bruce Wayne now, constantly changing her mind, constantly going back and forth. And then that causes Batman to smile. Woohoo! Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson, aka Robin. I really like Chris O'Donnell as Robin. I do. The scene of his family being murdered at the circus, just those chain of events, for me, work. It's really the only time we've ever seen Dick Grayson, Robin's origin in a live-action Batman movie. Now, would it have worked more if this was a younger kid, if this was like a 12-year-old or even a 14-year-old kid, and like when his head pokes out and sees his family dead, and then Bruce Wayne takes him home and he's being rebellious and he's trying to rope him in and just protect him. Sure, it would have worked more. But I still like the way Chris O'Donnell plays it. He's not too annoying. The one scene where he discovers the Batcave. Wow. The alarms are going off, intruder alert, but it shows the Batmobile, it shows the costumes, it shows all the tech. What type of alarm system is this? Why would you show an intruder all of Batman's stuff? Of course, Dick Grayson steals the Batmobile, drives off around Gotham, pretending to be Batman, but not in costume, which is quite hilarious. I do find that funny. He even saves a girl and fights with the glow-in-the-dark gang.
Run.
Wait, doesn't Batman ever kiss the girl?
Michael Goff one of the only actors from the original movies to stay and be here as Alfred. This is probably the best I've liked Michael Gough as Alfred.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir? I'll get drive-through.
Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon, he's still here as well. And he's still doing nothing. In fact, there's one scene near the end of the movie where he lights the bat signal because Riddler is taking over the city. And he's about to give up, about to turn the signal off. And then Batman in the Batplane shows up. And he starts screaming and yelling and carrying on like, yeah, yeah. And then he looks over and shakes the hand of the cop. And I'm like, Gordon, you're not doing jack shit. You're the commissioner. Do something. Really? The new Batmobile. There is a new Batmobile, a new brand new design. And I like the new design. I do. I remember being a kid and having the Batmobile toy, and it was awesome. The lights on the side glowed blue, and it looked cool. I was very into it. Even the one scene where Batman's getting away from Two-Face's gang and he drives up the wall. I see some people really shit on that and hate that, but I kind of think it's cool. And also, this is one of the first, especially Batman movies, where we got a lot of CGI. For 1995, you see shots of CGI or like the scene where Batman jumps off of the roof of the building and he's going down. Like, that's all computer generated. And for me, I think it still works. It still holds up surprisingly. Bruce Wayne decides one day to just give up being Batman. And you do kind of go like, what? Really? Just like that? Out of the blue? And it does feel like there's some deleted scenes here. Like there's some moments that maybe we don't have that got us to this point. I remember seeing online scenes of Val Kilmer and he's like facing this huge giant bat. And I wondered why all that was taken out. The villains finding out Batman's secret identity. That was almost the first time ever happening, especially in a Batman movie or a superhero movie. And them breaking into Wayne Manor and Riddler blowing up the Batcave, blowing up the Batmobile. Like, that's a pretty epic moment, but I guess because it's played a little silly, played a little goofy, it's Halloween, and just, yes, it's over the top. I think if it was more serious, if this whole movie was more serious, that scene, that moment would have been more epic, would have been more memorable. There's this whole back and forth between Batman and Robin where Robin wants to kill Two-Face for killing his parents. And Batman's like, no, you can't kill somebody. He almost insinuates like he's done it before and it's gotten to him. And I like that because that's Batman sort of going away from maybe what the Burton Batman was doing and just being reckless and killing and wanting to be more of a hero. I really like that. But then the end of the movie, it's sort of undone. And it's almost forgotten about. He doesn't directly kill Two-Face, but he just lets him die in front of Robin. And it's like, okay, cool. He's dead. And that's what you wanted, right? So cool. All right, let's go home. I know. Maybe I haven't done a good job of convincing you why I love this movie, why I give it a pass, why I'm okay with all of the silly stuff and all the goofy stuff and all the stuff that just maybe wasn't the right move at the time. It was a big hit, it was very successful, and it was very close to and near and dear to my heart as a kid. I loved this film growing up, so watching it now, it's pure nostalgic. It's pure, like, I get it. If I had watched this movie today for the first time ever, I probably would hate it. I can admit that, but still, I can't help it. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Batman Forever? Do you like it as much as I do? Do you understand why I like it? Or do you just think it sucks? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!